Hello, this video we will be discussing reading task complete. The different question types in the reading task are reading and writing fill in the blanks, multiple choice, multiple answer, reorder paragraphs, reading fill in the blanks, multiple choice, single answer. तो अब हम डिस्कस करेंगे the question type reading and writing fill in the blanks or the question type reading fill in the blanks. In reading and writing fill in the blanks, the length of the text can be up to 300 words. The skills assessed are reading and writing, 18 to 20 points in reading, and approximately 17 to 18 points in writing. While we are not given any marks for speaking and listening, the number of questions are 5 to 6 questions. What is the task? Text appears on the screen with several gaps. You have to select the most appropriate word from the drop-down list. Then we have the reading fill in the blanks. The length of the text can be up to 80 words. The skills assessed are reading. We are given approximately 18 to 20 points for reading, while we are not given any marks for speaking, writing, and listening. The number of questions are 4 to 5 questions. What is the task? The text appears on the screen with several gaps. You have to drag words from the box below to the appropriate place in the text. The time to answer for the question type, that is reading and writing fill in the blanks, and the question type reading fill in the blanks, is not applicable as we are having overall time. So it is in your hands how much time you're spending for each question. So you'll have to clearly manage your time in the reading task. So managing your time in the reading task is very, very important. Total time for the whole reading task is 29 to 30 minutes. Then you have the marking criteria for the question type, that is reading and writing fill in the blanks, and for the question type, that is reading fill in the blanks. For each correct answer we are given 1 point and 0 is the minimum score. Now we will be discussing grammar. What is active voice? Subject is at first. Example, Tom completed the homework. What is passive voice? Subject is at last. The homework was completed by Tom. In case of to, can, may, might, could, would, should, we will use first form of verb. Example, try. We will not use trying or tried. And a, an, and the is followed by a noun. The word the will be followed by a singular or plural noun, while the word an will be followed by a singular noun. And an is used before a noun that starts with a vowel sound, that is a, e, I, o, u. For example, an elephant. Here the word is singular and the noun is starting with the vowel e. The word a will be followed by a singular noun, and the word a is used before a noun that starts with a consonant sound. For example, a cat. Here, the word is singular and the noun is starting with the consonant sound C. Which letters are consonant? The letters other than A, E, I, O, U. For example, the letters B, C, D, F, E, H, etc. We sometimes get confused between practice and practice. Here in practice, the word is ending in CE, so it is a noun. For example, I need a practice session before my class. And here in practice, the word is ending in SE, so it is a verb. For example, she has been practicing law for 2 years. So before discussing the different types of tenses, understanding what is present, past, and future tense is important. So what is present tense? Present tense means the form of a verb that expresses an action that is happening now or at a time of speaking. What is past tense? Past tense means the form of verb used to describe the actions in the past. What is future tense? Future tense means action or the event that will happen in the future. So we have clearly discussed what is present, past, and future tense. Now we will be discussing the different types of tenses. So first we have the simple tense. What is simple tense? Simple tense is considered the most basic way to express an action. And then we have the continuous tense. What is continuous tense? It shows an action that is, was, or will be in progress at a certain time. Then we have the perfect tense. So what is perfect tense? Action or state that is completed at the time of speaking or at a time spoken of. Then we have the perfect continuous tense. So what is perfect continuous tense? Something has started in the past and is continuing at the present. So in case of continuous tense, we will be using ing form of verb. And in case of perfect tense, we will be using ed form of verb. And in case of perfect continuous tense, we will be using been plus ing form of verb. And in case of continuous tense, we will be using the words is, am, are, was, were, will be, shall be. In case of perfect tense, we will be using the words has, have, had, will have, shall have. In case of perfect continuous tense, we will be using the words has been, have been, had been, will have been, shall have been. So we have clearly discussed the different tenses. Now we'll be discussing what is noun, verb, adjective, and adverb. Noun means something you can have, like an object or a thing, for example, a pen or pencil, or it refers to a person, place, or idea or an activity. It can be a process, for example, digestion. It can be an idea. It can be an idea, for example, civilization or freedom. Verb means action or doing something, for example, to play or practicing law. Then you have the adjective. Adjective is used to describe noun, for example, tall building. Then we have an adverb. Adverb is word that adds more information about a place, time, manner, or cause. or degree to a verb, adjective, phrase, or another adverb, and it ends in y or ly. Example is very tall building. So identifying whether the word is a noun, verb, adjective, or adverb is important. Now we will be discussing how to solve the question type, that is reading fill in the blanks, and the question type reading and write fill in the blanks. So the first step is after reading the topic sentence, you have to review what's near the blanks and you have to select one option which you feel correct and you have to complete the whole paragraph. You have to do this, you have to do it in less than a minute. So in this step, we will understand the topic sentence and we roughly know what they have mentioned in the whole paragraph. In the second step, you have to read each and every sentence carefully and understand the meaning of the sentence. And you have to check whether the option you selected first is right or wrong. So now we'll be discussing each step in detail. You have to go through the option. We have to check whether we have to write noun, verb, adjective, or adverb in the blank. Are they telling about action? Then it is a verb. Is it amplifying an adjective? Then it is an adverb. Are they speaking about an object or a thing? Then it will be noun. So we'll have to check whether we have to write noun, verb, adjective, or adverb in the blank. For example, if they have given two nouns, one adjective, and one verb, they are talking about process. So we clearly know it is a noun. They are talking about an object. So we clearly know it is a noun. Maybe the first option which we selected is wrong. So we'll have to change it and select the correct answer. But mostly they will give us all noun, all verb, all adjective, or all adverb. We'll take an example where they have given us all nouns. Here given a paragraph where they are speaking about the different human rights and the different options are freedom, independence, captivity, and duty. We clearly know that captivity means the state of being kept as a prisoner or in a place you cannot escape from. But this will not be the answer. Then we have the word duty. Duty means something that you feel you have to do because it is your moral or legal responsibility. So, duty of speech cannot be the answer. Then we have the other words freedom and independence. Freedom means actual power or right to do, say, or think as one wants without being controlled. Then we have independence. Independence means the state or quality of being independent, freedom from the influence, control, or determination of another or others. After understanding the meaning of each word, we clearly know the answer is freedom of speech. The answer cannot be independence of speech. So you'll have to look if the word meaning is 100% going with the sentence. So if we had selected independence randomly in the first step, then we will change it and select the option freedom. And if there are two verbs, had played and has played, so we clearly know it is perfect tense as had and has being used in the sentence and action is completed at the time of speaking. Then you have to check if the sentence is in present, past, or future. So the given sentence is in past tense, we will use had played, and if the sentence is in present tense, we will use has played. And sometimes the options have similar meanings. Then we have to look for collocations. Collocations mean the two words always goes together. Example, appropriate action. They may give other words in place of appropriate, but the correct option is appropriate action because this is a collocation. And one more example is that is basic principle. So instead of necessary principle, we have to choose basic principle because this is a collocation. From the PT official website, you can download the collocation list. At the end, you have to just read the few words near the blanks, check the options you have selected, start solving the next question. Why am I telling you to choose the options after reading just the few words near the blanks? This is because when we read the second time, we will be able to spot the errors very easily. For example, maybe first I selected the noun, but the sentence is speaking about action, so we have to change it to verb. Then maybe in place of freedom, I selected independence. But after reading the sentence, I know that they are speaking about freedom, so I will change it. And maybe in place of basic, I chose necessary. But after looking at the options, I clearly know the collocation is basic principle. And while we eliminate the option, we are 100% confident as we clearly know the reason why we are eliminating that particular option. Else, we will have confusion between the options, which are similar, and will take a lot of time to eliminate the wrong option. And as we have very less time, we will not be confident to read the rest of the sentences. So, in the first step, when we read the topic sentence and select the answers after reading the few words near the blanks, we have a rough idea of what they're telling in the whole paragraph. We would be 100% confident in the second step as we know the exact reason why we are eliminating the options. So, in case of reading and writing fill in the blanks, we have a drop down list. First, you have to select one option which you feel correct from the drop down list. In the second step, you have to check whether you have to write a verb, noun, adjective, or adverb. If both are nouns, you have to check for the meaning that goes exactly with the sentence. If still we don't get the answer, we will look for collocation. And we will check the answers we have written and start solving the next question. And then we have the question that is reading fill in the blanks. Here, first we will select one option which we feel correct and drag that particular option to the appropriate. In the second step, you have to check whether you have to write verb, noun, adjective, or adverb. If both are nouns, you have to check for the meaning that goes exactly with the sentence. If still we don't get the answer, we will look for collocation. In the end, we will check the answers we have written and start solving the next question. So we have clearly discussed how to solve the question type, that is reading and writing fill in the blanks, and the question type reading fill in the blanks. So now we will be discussing the next question type, that is MCQ with multiple answers and MCQ with single answer. The length of the text will be up to 300 words for both MCQ with single answer and MCQ with multiple answer. The skills assessed is reading. We are given marks for reading, while we are not given any marks for speaking, writing, and listening. The time to answer is not applicable as we have overall time and it is in your hand how much time you are spending to solve each question. Any of the task that is MCQ multiple, what is the task here after reading the text? You have to answer the multiple choice question by selecting more than one response. So what is the task in MCQ single? After reading the text, you have to answer the multiple choice question by selecting one response. Now we'll be discussing the marking criteria in case of MCQ with multiple answers. For each correct response, we are given 1 point, and for each incorrect response, we are given -1 point, and the minimum score is 0. While in case of MCQ with a single answer, for each correct response, we are given 1 point, and 0 is the minimum score. There is no negative marking, and the number of questions is 1 to 2 for MCQ with multiple answer, and number of questions is 1 to 2 for MCQ with a single answer. So here you can see in case of MCQ with multiple answers, there is negative marking. So what is negative marking here? We'll take example of two candidates, candidate A and candidate B. Candidate A, the first option is correct, he'll get 1 point. Second option is correct, he'll get 1 point. So total he'll get 2 points. And in case of candidate B, the first option is correct, he'll get 1 point. Second option is wrong, so he'll get -1 point. Here, +1, -1 cancel, the total he'll get 0 points. So if you're not sure, you have to select just one response in case of MCQ with multiple answer question type. So in the whole reading task, there is only one question type in which there is negative marking. That question type is MCQ with multiple answer. So now we will be discussing how to solve MCQ with multiple answers and MCQ with single answers. In case of reading MCQ, we have to read the question, and if there is any keyword, we have to scan the passage quickly and look for that particular keyword and then go through the options and answer the question. For example, you're finding a keyword that is 1988. So in the whole passage, you'll be quickly scanning for that particular keyword, and when you find that keyword, you'll be reading the few sentences that is given there, and then you'll go through the option and select the correct answer. And in case if there is no keyword in the question, we have to read the beginning few words of all the options, and then we have to read the whole paragraph and mark the correct answer. According to the article, which of the following are true about this instant noodle business? So here there is no keyword in the question. So we will be reading first part of all the options. Mr. Andrew's products are not well known. When Mr. Noodles came to the market, they cost, business venture was successful, purchase the firm was initially concerned, people in the noodle business initially ridiculed. In 1958, instant noodles went on the market, Bobby bricks in cellophane bags, and were laughed at by fresh noodle makers all over the world. They were just a high-tech race costing 6 times as much as a fresh shop. They would never catch on. By the end of the first year, Andrew had sold 13 million bags and had attracted a dozen competitors. He never looked back. The Japanese voted instant noodles their most important 20th century invention. Andrew's firm Nissan became a 3 billion global enterprise. Here you can see and were laughed at by fresh noodle makers. And they've also given the Japanese voted instant noodles their most important 20th century invention. So the correct answer will be Mr. Ando's business venture was successful with the public. People in the noodle business initially ridiculed Mr. Ando's idea. We've clearly looked at how to solve the reading MCQ questions. So in this MCQ single question also, we don't have any keywords. So we have to solve the MCQ single exactly in the same way how we solve the MCQ multiple question. This is not an important task. If you have less time, you can randomly select one option in case it's MCQ multiple and single. Select only one option if you're not sure in case it's MCQ multiple, as there is negative marking, and you have to click next and start solving the next question. So we've clearly discussed how to solve the MCQ with a multiple answer question type and MCQ with single answer question type. Now we will be discussing the next question type, that is reorder paragraph. The length of the text is up to 150 words. The given marks for reading are not given any marks for writing, listening, and speaking. The time to answer is not applicable as it is in your hand. How much time is spending to solve each question? The total number of questions are 2 to 3 questions. What is the task? Several text boxes appears on the screen in a random order. Put the text boxes in the correct order, and there are two ways you can move the text. So here you can select it and drag it to the desired location, or you can use the arrow buttons which is given on screen. And then we have the marking criteria. For each pair of correct adjacent text boxes, we are given 1 point, and 0 is the minimum score. In case of A, B, C, D, E, we will be given 4 marks, as here A, B, B, C, C, D, D, E pair is correct. In case of E, A, B, C, D, we are given 3 points, as A, B, B, C, and C, D. 3 pairs are correct, so we are given 3 points. In case of A, B, D, E, C, we are given 2 points, as 2 pairs are correct, that is A, D, and D. In case of A, B, E, D, C, we are given 1 point, as only one pair is correct, that is A, D. In case of E, D, C, A, B, we are given only 1 point, as only one pair, that is A, B, is correct. In case of A, C, D, E, D, we are given 0 points, as no pair is correct. So here, for each correct pair, we are given 1 point. Now we will be discussing how to find the correct pair and solve the question. You have to look for sentences which refers back to someone or something previously mentioned. So here in the first sentence, it is mentioned Tom said that he won't play today. And the second sentence, he also told that he is very unhappy. So here you can see the second sentence is a continuation of the first sentence. So when we are given such sentences, we must look for about whom they are referring and find the correct pair. So the words he, she, those, them, they, it all will come as the second sentence. So we'll have to find a pair for such sentences. And then you'll have to look for the word poetry, for example, in conclusion, as to refer back to the previous sentence. So when you find such words, you have to find a pair for this particular sentence. And then you have to look for words like however, on the other hand, although, despite, etc., as they are used to contrast two sentences. So you have to find a pair for these sentences. And then you have to look for sentences with also, besides, furthermore, in addition, additionally, moreover, etc., as they are used to connect two sentences. And then you have to look for sentences with consequently, therefore, hence, because, due to, as they are used to tell the cause or event. So you have to first find a pair for the sentences with all these words, that is, firstly, however, therefore, them, etc. Then you'll have to look for the sentence which gives overview of the information, that is a topic sentence. Topic sentence does not refer back to something or someone, and it does not refer back to the information previously mentioned. So we have to look for the topic sentence, slowly discuss how to find the correct pair and also how to find the topic sentence. Now we'll be discussing the other two important points to remember. When definite article the is used in a sentence, it means that it is the continuation of a previous sentence. This is important. And before mentioning any short form, they will mention the full form. So the sentences with short forms will act as the second sentence. So now we will be discussing how to solve the question. Suppose we have to read the sentences. We have to read just the few words they have given at the beginning so that we have a rough idea of what they have given. So here in this example, we'll be reading just the first few words. Because you might be living within the country, there are more than 100 schools. Never choose a school without going to the place. You can see the facilities and accommodation. And while reading the few words, we have to look for the words for which we can find a pair. So here they have mentioned never choose a school without going to the place. Before, so the before sentence will be related to school. So we have to find a pair for this sentence. And in the end, you can see you should go and see once you have a chance. So the continuation sentence will be you can see the facilities and accommodations around the school. So now we have found the first pair. Then comes the sentence starting with because you might be living there. So here they are giving a reason. So before giving a reason means giving explanation. So before giving explanation, there will be a sentence. So that sentence will be you can see the facilities and accommodations around the school. So for this particular sentence, they are giving an explanation here because you might be living there. We have found the second pair. Then comes the last sentence, and they can be helpful to your study as well. So, and is used to connect the sentence. So, here and is used to connect the sentence. And is used to connect the sentence because you might be living there and the sentence helpful to your study as well. So, we've clearly discussed how to solve the reorder paragraph. So the total time for the whole reading task is 29 to 30 minutes. So now we will be discussing the important question types and how to manage the time in the reading task as we have overall time. So reading and writing fill in the blanks is the first important task as we are given approximately 20 points in reading and approximately 17 to 18 points in writing. And you have to solve each question within 2 minutes and you have 5 to 6 questions here. Then we have the reading fill in the blank. This is the second important task. You are given 18 to 20 points for reading and you have to solve each question within 2 minutes. And here we'll have 4 to 5 questions. Then comes the reorder paragraph. This is the third important task. You are given 7 to 8 points for reading and you have to solve each question within 2 minutes. And here you'll have 2 to 3 questions. Then comes MCQ multiple, that is the lesser of the least important task. As we are given 1 point for reading, you have to solve each question within 1 minute. Here you will have 1 to 2 questions. Then comes MCQ single. Here you are given 1 point for reading. You have to solve the question within 1 minute. Here you will have 1 to 2 questions. This is also a least important task. So in case of MCQ multiple, if you have less time, you don't have to spend a single second reading the passage or the option. You can randomly select one option and start solving the next question. And the second case is in not getting the answer within 1 minute even after reading the paragraph of or the option. In that case also, you can randomly select one option and start solving the next question. Because after this question type, that is MCQ multiple, we have the reorder paragraph and reorder paragraph is the third most important task in the PTE reading. And when you're randomly selecting in case of MCQ multiple, you have to select just one option as there is negative marking. And in case of reading MCQ single, you have to spend less than 1 minute to answer the question. This is the last task in PT reading. If you have time, you can read and select one option. In case if you have less time and you're not getting the answer, you can select one option randomly, click next and start solving the next question. Thank you all. Thank you for watching the video. If you like the video, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe the video. See you soon in the next video. Have a great day.